Welcome back. It's another Monday, Media Mal and more, here at our offices here in Florida.
Yep.
And we're really excited to be doing this format again because we got fantastic feedback from you guys, and that's really what matters. We like it because we can be a little bit more casual and because we can talk for a longer period of time, which I'm sure you guys all love us being longer and we're showing out, but we get to actually tell you a little bit more and go into depth about something that we actually care about.
Right.
It's a lot easier to talk than it is to always be typing long blogs. So it's fun for us. And we're going to start with media, as we always do. And this week we have a piece that we did for Studio 10, and it was all about how to pick summer produce, what the different colors mean, how to choose. And I really liked that the host on the show just kept telling everybody that wheat was the devil.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. I also like the part that you talked about where you can make a mask for summer.
Which I use.
Make sure you check that out. And there's also a colored produce that can help to reduce risk of stroke by 52%. Go ahead and take a look at the clip now.
And we're back live inside Studio 10. You know, we talk a lot about healthy eating and compiling a nutritional but budget-friendly grocery list here in Studio 10, but most books don't cover both of those topics simultaneously.
Well, fortunately, Sarasota-based health advocates Jayson and Mira Calton have taken on the task of breaking down our shopping lists and making heading to the grocery store much less confusing and daunting. And they're joining us now. And we have on the table here their book, their most recent book, Rich Food, Poor Food, and it is touted as ending the confusion, and that's what we're trying to do today. When we talk about that, building your grocery list, you mentioned that there are certain foods that you need to buy organic. There are certain foods that you don't. How do you differentiate?
So we have two lists. One's called the Fab 14, and the other's called the Terrible 20. You differentiate based on how much pesticide residue are left on those produce. So the Fab 14 tells you what you don't have to buy organically, where you can save your money. And there's a whole, 14 foods on those lists. Foods like onions, avocados.
Onions you do not have to buy
You
organic.
do not have to buy organic.
Avocados you don't have to buy.
Do not.
It has to do with the thickness of the skin, doesn't it?
It has to do with the thickness of the skin and whether or not they're genetically modified. We want to do both things. Now, the Terrible 20 list tells you what you do want to buy organically. So things like grapes, blueberries, strawberries, they're all on that list.
Because they have thin skins.
Because they have thin skin.
And they're highly sprayed.
Yes.
And you also consume the entire thing, right? With an avocado, you don't eat the outside.
Right.
So an onion, hopefully.
Yes.
You do, then, we'd like to see your recipe for how you prepare that.
Right. You were telling us off the air about the number of pesticides found on, was it strawberries?
An apple.
An apple. Okay, tell everybody.
It actually tops the Terrible 20 list.
Oh, man.
Apple, which is what we generally give to small children, has on average 42 different pesticides sprayed on that apple. And that means when they eat it, even if you wash it off, they're still getting all of that into their small bodies.
Wow. So if you buy a regular apple, are you better off peeling it before you eat it, or will that even make any difference?
It grows right into the fruit itself, so you want to make sure that you're buying organic apples.
Now, you've broken down today's produce into color schemes here. Let's talk a little bit about each of these different groupings and what they can do for you and for your body, and then we'll get into the terrible news that Jerome received this morning about wheat. So we'll get there. But let's talk grapes. What do grapes and blueberries do for you?
This is the blue-purple category, and the great thing about those is they're really, really good with antioxidants. So the blueberries, I always tell people that if you get that 3 o'clock lull, boost your energy by eating just a handful of blueberries.
And again, you want to buy these organic.
Organic.
Okay.
Grapes, great for summer because eating grapes for only 2 months every day, the dark grapes like these, actually shrinks varicose veins by 41%.
Is that right?
Tell me that again. What?
Eating grapes for 2 months straight has been proven to shrink your varicose veins by 41%.
Every day?
Tightens the veins, yes.
Okay. Every day, 2 months straight. I'm going to try this.
What if you don't
great
have
spring
any varicose
practice.
veins?
You can't see them yet.
What about, we eat a lot of frozen grapes in my house. Is it okay to eat them that way, or are you kind of goofing yourself up that way?
Frozen grapes are a great snack.
Yeah.
And actually, you don't go through them as quickly because they can be high in sugar and they can add a lot of extra calories in. But you just still same rules. You want to buy it organically.
Okay.
Let's talk white, and I notice there's no potato on that plate.
Right. When we're talking about the white produce, we're talking about the flesh of the produce. So still bananas, apples, coconuts, they're all included in the white. Now, white foods can do something that no other color can do. Can help to reduce the risk of stroke by 52%. Onions, a superfood on their own, they can help to reduce osteoporosis. In fact, in Turkey, where onion consumption is the highest, osteoporosis levels are the lowest. And you don't have to buy the exotic mushrooms to get all the antioxidant benefits and cardiovascular benefits.
You have to get the shiitakes and all
No,
that.
you don't have to do that.
Guy?
Just these guys here. These are the baby Bella mushrooms, and so you don't have to break the bank.
Now, Mira, you had osteoporosis.
I had 80-year-old bones when I turned 30.
And you corrected that through eating things like onions?
Correct diet, supplementation, absolutely. Changing my lifestyle to really give my body those vitamins, minerals, essential fats that I needed to make my bones strong.
How long did that take to transform?
2 years.
And look at your posture. It's letter perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Now let's talk, and you mentioned essential fats. Let's talk about one of the best ones, and that's in the green category. That's avocados, right?
Exactly. Avocado is a fantastic fruit, and what it is has that essential fat. Now, we're going to have you use it 2 ways during the summer. I want people to eat it first because of that essential fat that we want them to get into their body, and it helps keep your skin nice and supple. But then I also want you to make a mask. During the summer, we're all outside a lot, and our skin can kind of dry out and look a little bit, faded.
Yeah.
So if you take some avocado, put it in some sour cream, the acid in the sour cream will act as a really soft exfoliant, and it'll just bring that glow right to the surface again.
How long do you leave that on?
Just until it dries. It doesn't take long at all.
Sounds like a good way to
sounds
exfoliate
awesome.
a baked potato, too.
Has some chips and salsa.
Yeah. But the problem, though, in my house is when we get the avocados, we have the pre-mixed guacamole, salt and MSG and all that, and you mix it in, and it's so good. But you should really just put natural ingredients in the guacamole, right?
Homemade. We got the recipe right in the book.
Okay, so now with the lettuce, at my house we eat a lot of romaine. Does it matter what kind of lettuce?
Absolutely, and especially if you have osteoporosis or any other bone conditions. The thing about lettuce is it contains something called oxalic acid. And oxalic acid, when you eat it, naturally contains this. When you eat it, it actually strips your body of calcium and magnesium. So you want to make sure to get the lettuce with the least amount if you're not going to cook it. Spinach is actually the highest. So when people make spinach salads, it's a bad choice. You should always cook your spinach.
We're
We
almost
don't want to run out of time before we talk about the reds.
No, well, we also mentioned that wheat is the devil. Can you touch on that quickly?
Yes.
Wheat is not the wheat of our grandparents or our grandparents' grandparents. It's been genetically altered now, so it's not 4 foot tall, it's 2 foot tall. So it causes all kinds of problems in our society. A lot of people are gluten intolerant these days. So there's alternatives to wheat. We can use coconut flour, almond flour. You can still make breads, you can still have mac and cheese, but ditch the wheat, and I think you'll see a big difference.
They were saying the addiction to wheat is the same. The brain responds the same way as it does to morphine.
It's absolutely addicting. 400 more calories every single day.
Okay, so we'll learn about the red in the book itself. You can pick up the book where books are sold. Rich Food, Poor Food. Check it out. And the Caltons are right here locally in Sarasota, so I'm sure we'll be talking with them again very soon.
You will not run into them in your local donut shop. But if you, okay.
Great. Well, we all know we can get a lot of our micronutrients from summer produce, but as you know, we also recommend taking a well-formulated multivitamin, specifically Nutreince.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've included some links down below. If you're not familiar with Nutreince yet, make sure you check out the link. There's a video there that we talk about Nutreince and how it's different from other multivitamins. Also, if you want to see how your multivitamin that you're currently taking, if it's not Nutreince, stacks up to the ABCs of optimal supplementation guidelines, which we talk about in our first book, Naked Calories. There's a link down there for that too.
Right. It's a great quiz for everybody to take, and it only takes a couple minutes. Just grab your product before you go to take the test.
Right. I think also this week I'd like to talk about an article that came out having to do with dangers, and specifically a ban that the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine is calling the FDA to ban multivitamins with copper and iron.
Right.
I think this is a really important thing. If your multivitamin contains copper and iron, you're going to want to read our blog. There's a link to that below as well. Basically, it says here, quote, that even modestly elevated levels of these two minerals have been associated with impaired cognition and Alzheimer's disease. So we definitely don't want to be taking a multivitamin with copper or iron.
And Nutreince is formulated without either of those.
Right. We formulate it without copper and iron for this reason, but also because copper and iron also compete with 8 and 10 different micronutrients respectively. So by adding them into a formulation, you're essentially negating a good majority of the vitamins and minerals that are in there. Yeah. So, and we have something else. First time ever, we're offering free samples of Nutreince.
And we've got a really good response to that. So obviously a lot of you have been wanting to try Nutreince, and this was a great a great opportunity.
Yep. All you have to do is just go to email us at media@caltonnutrition.com. Let us know what kind you want. If you want the Nutreince Original or the new unflavored version.
Right. So the original is flavored with stevia.
Yep.
As our tropical flavor, or you can get the natural, which is unflavored and unsweetened.
Unsweetened, and yeah, exactly. And a lot of people like that too, because you only have to drink it with 4 to 6 ounces of water, as opposed to the 16 ounces that we recommend for the Nutreince Original.
Now,
don't forget to add your address onto that email as well.
Yes, or else we don't know where to send it.
Yeah. So all this talk about Nutreince, let's talk about what we really came here to talk about.
We have some media to deal with.
Yeah.
No, we did media. We're going to do with some mail, actually. Yeah. And the whole thing is the mail actually has to do with Nutreince this time, because earlier in the week I posted a picture of my new obsession.
Yep.
And we started immediately getting questions in the mailbox about my obsession. So my new obsession is Nutreince Gummies.
Oh.
I am a sugar fiend. I used to be a sugar fiend. I haven't had sugar in years. But I used to love sugar. And one of my favorite things to eat was gummies, or, you know, the hot dollars, Swedish fish, anything like that.
Yeah.
So obviously I don't eat those anymore. And Nutreince Gummies actually is a great way for me to put 2 of the things I do every day together finally.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I always do is obviously take my Nutreince twice a day. The other thing I always do is I use gelatin in my diet. Now we're going to call this our mail, because this question actually comes from Joan Bueller.
Yeah.
Joan Bueller is a fantastic fan, and we love her, and she takes Nutreince all the time. But she asked us to talk a little bit about the benefits of gelatin and why we wanted to make gummies.
Right.
So I just did a little bit. I took some notes here to share with you guys on why gelatin is so important to add to your diet. And here's just a few of the benefits.
Okay.
So it supports skin, hair, and nail growth. You will never have stronger nails, ladies.
Yeah.
And it's really fantastic. It's good for your joints and helps in joint recovery, which is why we're actually giving it to our dog.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times you don't think about what, you know, the back hips, especially of certain breeds, can go bad as the dogs get older.
Yeah.
And our dog, Gigi, which you can see in our book.
In the book?
Yep, Rich Food, Poor Food, on one of the last pages there. She is, what, now about 12 years old? 11, 12. And although she's not really showing any signs of hip problems, we want to try to alleviate that. Yeah, she eats well, she takes a vitamin every day, and she also uses the gelatin. Yeah.
So it also helps to tighten loose skin. So if you've lost a lot of weight recently, or you were pregnant, taking in gelatin is great for that as well. It improves your digestion because it binds to water and helps things move through your digestive tract. It also is rumored to improve cellulite, so that's always an added bonus. And collagen. It's a great source of collagen, and a lot of people get the creams that have like collagen in them.
Yeah.
But that's not absorbed.
They put it on their face. They think it's going to smooth the wrinkles out.
It doesn't, because it's not absorbed through your skin. You actually have to eat it, and then it actually comes out through your skin.
Now, what would you suggest putting on your skin, if anything?
Oh, coconut oil.
Coconut oil. This is what we found all around the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people would
every tribe,
bathe
everywhere
in it. They would just, and their skin was beautiful.
Yeah, no wrinkles on those islands in the South Pacific. Another great thing is that it's a source of protein, not a great one. My sister actually tried asking me the other day if she should add it to things to add in some protein. There's better sources of protein. What it is a good source of is a good source of glycine, which is an amino acid. And it's an amino acid that is very, very good at anti-inflammatory. And it's also really, really good for healing.
Healing the gut.
Healing the gut.
And that kind of thing, right?
And it makes it go a lot faster. So that's why we like that as well. And it's also helps to build muscle.
And I've heard weight loss too, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people use it for weight loss.
Absolutely. And for better sleep, actually. And especially, which is why we like doing the one in the evening, because it's supposed to help with your sleep and weight loss. You're supposed to take it for weight loss right before you go to bed. So double duty. So that's just a little bit for you, Joan, on all the benefits that you're going to get from gelatin. Now, not all gelatin is created equal.
Yes.
Here's the gelatin we like. This is Great Lakes unflavored gelatin, and it's a beef gelatin, and it's kosher, and it is grass-fed.
Yeah. Also,
grass-fed cows.
let's take a look at what we're talking about when we say
whoa. Watch the jello
Nutreince.
shake.
Yeah, there it goes.
Okay.
You can see these little gummy guys. These are almost shaped like a Lego.
Yeah.
And instead of, oops, I just fell over, but instead of drinking a 16-ounce drink of Nutreince, all you'd have to do is eat 2 of these Legos. They're very easy to do. They're great for kids. We take them about 9:30 before bed.
Yep.
They're a great snack. They taste fantastic. You can make them any flavor you want. They're always going to come out this yellow color, and that's because of the quercetin in Nutreince, so that's always going to be yellow. But you can make strawberry flavored. You can make it any flavor you want.
Now you have to make them in the AM and the PM because, of course, Nutreince is 2 different formulations. So you actually have to make 2 batches, one for the AM, one for the PM, and you can keep them in the fridge in an airtight container. Just mark AM on the box of top of one and PM on the box top of the other, and then you won't get them mixed up.
Yeah, and it's so easy to make. Mira will, she goes in the kitchen, she whips out a couple batches of these things. It takes no time at all. She's been looking for gummies since we began this, almost 8 years ago. This was her original idea. Let's just do a vitamin
eventually come in a bag.
gummy. Yeah, it's very expensive. It's very hard to do, but
they add in a lot of junk.
Yeah, there's things that you don't necessarily want, but this is fantastic. It's a natural source of gelatin. It's easy to do, and it really is. It makes it a lot easier
because you only have to have this much.
Yeah. They're great. You can make it also, you don't have to make it gummy either. You can make it more like a gel. You can.
It depends what you want.
I think the recipe will show that.
Am I going to give both?
Yeah, why don't we give
Okay, we'll give both recipes. And you can make them in any flavor. You can make them with or without juice. We'll share all that with you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our question for the day. I hope you enjoy. If you've been taking Nutreince and you've been thinking to yourself, I'd like it if we could come up with an easier way for a couple of them. This is just a great way. And even
or a great way to patch up your kids.
That's what I was going to say. After they come home from school and you're thinking, what am I going to give them as a snack? This is a great snack. They're going to love it. They're going to eat it like candy. They get their nutrients in, and they're going to look forward to it every day.
So next week, you'll get another Media Mail and more on Monday, but we won't be in our office.
No.
So that's the teaser.
Yep.
And you guys take care. We'll talk to you guys soon.
See you next week. Thanks for joining us on Media Mail and More.
Subscribe if you want, and share it with others.
Thanks.
Bye.